how did you kind of get into this? And then really like the thing I want to focus on after we kind of how you got into this is, again, the reason I mentioned the TikTok thing is because that's how a lot of people are moving product. That's how they're growing their businesses.
Big time.
And you're doing it different. I want to find out what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? So, but talk to you said 16 years old.
Being a private person, there's a question that I dread in most all of my social circumstances. And it's the age old question of, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
And so my usual knee jerk answer is as little as possible, but,
I love that though.
But, it's my story, and what it is I felt an entrepreneurial spirit all the way into high school, into being 16 years old and having this harebrained idea of buying an RV and renting it while still going to high school, still living, in my parents' house and doing free in-town delivery because I didn't have a location, so they wouldn't pick it up inside my mom's house or things like that. So we would do free in-town delivery, but started renting it out, paid it off in the first year with all the rental revenue because I was living at home and working in restaurants at night and didn't really need the money. And so used the equity out of the first one, bought a second one, and really an organic snowball effect in that. But an interesting story in the start, my junior to senior year of high school. All right. So I have bad truancy problems at school because I'm literally skipping school to go wash campers and change oil and do accounting at 16, 17 years old.
Yeah. You're running the business.
Doing everything.
Which was probably way more valuable than the school at the time.
One-man wrecking band, basically. So June comes along and I get a reservation from my website and I don't really pay attention to the name, and a family shows up and I look over and it is the principal of my high school. And I was like, Dr. Atkins? And he's
so you're still in school at this time,
still
right?
Still in high school with bad truancy problems. And he's like, Jett? And he's like, what are you doing? I was like, well, this has a lot to do with my truancy problems. So goes on a trip, has a blast, brings it back. First couple of days of school, I hear Jett come to the principal's office. Jett Williams come, and everybody's like, "Ooh, you got in trouble in the first week."
Yeah,
I was like, "Here we go." So I come to the principal's office, and my principal looks at me and says, I thought a lot about you this summer, and I was really impressed with how our whole experience went. What I want to do is, I know you're having some truancy problems, but what I want to do is, the last period of every day, you work in the attendance office. And I was like, wait. No. I don't want to work in the attendance office. That's lame. He goes, no, listen to me, son. You work in the attendance office. Are we clear?
Yeah.
So he actually invested in me and allowed me to leave school early every day.
What an awesome dude.
Working in the attendance office that allowed me to kind of pursue my career and do what I'm doing. So.
Wow, dude. So that guy understood what was actually best for you and your time as an investment into you.
And he, there was probably some risk involved in that.
100%.
Not naming any names of who it was or where it was, but no, it was a powerful moment for me to know that people are willing to invest in me. People are willing to invest in my process. And better believe he hit me up for a rental the next summer at a deep discounted rate.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But that was a great propel, and there were a lot of speed bumps the next couple of years. Actually went out of the RV business after everything I had done, heart and soul. I had a relative that had come onto the company. I was losing my mind. I was, at this point in time, had 5 motorhomes. I was, running and gunning, doing everything. I was out of high school, trying to figure out if I was going to go to college. Brought them on, and this is a little bit of another dirty secret of my life that I don't really share a lot with. But brought on a relative, came on to handle the office, the clerical, the reservations, some of the accounting, where I could focus on the outside, be the outside dog.
Yep.
And try to expand the business more. Well, about 15, 16 weeks go by and I'm out wrenching on an RV or something. And I get a call from my landlord and he's like, "Hey man, you've been a great guy. I've really enjoyed working with you, but you just bounced a check." And I was like, there's no way. I built up reserves, never really spent $1 out of the company. I said, there's just absolutely no way. I'll bring you a personal check to cover. I'm sure it's just a banking error. On my way over there, I get a call from my accountant going, "We got a problem."
Uh-oh.
So my relative had a failing business at the time, loaned the notes to me, young, naive, and wrote off every dollar of cash that I'd worked for since I was 16 years old.
Wow.
So poof, gone. So the rest is history past that. But it led into some really pivotal moments that really, I think it all happens for a reason.
Oh, 100%. Like what are the lessons that you learned after something like that you're still using today, you know?
Don't trust anybody. No, just kidding. It really also led me to be a sole proprietor, not take on investors, not take on partnerships, and just really know that if it fails or it succeeds, it's on my shoulders.
Let's go.
So, and with that, there was a lot of weight, obviously, that rests on your shoulders. But, you know, throughout the years as an entrepreneur, I think that in all these businesses, I think that what's amazing about entrepreneurship is the silent wins. You know, the wins that happen that might not necessarily put another zero in your bank account,
right?
But it's those silent moments that really fill your cup that you don't talk to anybody about. You don't publicly display it, but that's really what I think drives the whole process of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And you can have 1,000 losses, but that one little win really, really, really brings you back. So
where did you learn? Like, I know I've had a lot of great mentors and a lot of great people in my life that have influenced me and taught me so many things. Where did you learn all this stuff about business? Like, how do you, like, it's rare for an individual to just be motivated enough, especially at a young age, to figure this stuff out.
Honestly, I think that talking also about things happening, you know, the way that they should, in my industry, I started in reverse. So normally people either inherit a dealership, start it, go into sales, might have some type of rental aspect over to it. But I started changing the oil, vacuuming the carpet, doing the accounting, talking to all the customers from day one. And I think that really helped in organic growth of how Nashville RV is kind of metamorphosized into what it is now.
No doubt.
But I would say I learned more from my customers than I did my mentors. And
oh wow, that's gold right there.
And expanding on that would be, you know, mentors can give you great advice about investments and things like that, but being face first with a customer base on a daily and getting the call at 9:00 of something not going right, or, you know, an insecurity about the whole RV process,
embracing their problems, right?
Yeah. And I think that, you know, advice for up and coming entrepreneurs, your customer is your mentor, you know, and that if you can put all ego aside, don't think you have it all figured out, but listen to every customer. And we have our fussy customers, we have our great customers, but they all have input and they all have data and they all have experiences. And it's really my job to process those experiences into better ones for the next people. So that's, I mean, I hate to discredit some of my great deep friendships. My best friend is actually 63 years old. I'm, you know, in my mid 30s. So I talk to him every day, but you know, there's a lot of wisdom and guidance in that. But,
can I ask a off topic question then?
Sure.
How old is your best friend?
63.
All right. So, all right. We were rocking out. I listened to a lot of older music, right? So what kind of music do you listen to? If your friend's 63, I bet it's not new stuff.
I'm a cornucopia. I love, It just depends on the day.
Yeah.
I'll turn on 70s music sometimes, which I absolutely love. It's easy. It's true music. You know, you're on the beach. You want to listen to some Kygo or something fun like that. I'm also young. I can kind of dabble in both sides of it.
All right.
But
told you, interesting.
It's really circumstantial. I think, you know, music sets the mood.
Yeah,
So,
dude,
I love
absolutely. So well, I think we uncovered the magic sauce here, which is how do you scale a business totally different than what everybody else is in your industry is doing to scale their businesses, which is a lot of tours on socials and so on and so forth. And literally, like you just described, we talk about it all the time, how the difference between cattle and bison, and how bison run into the storm and they end up running through the storm, so they spend less time in the storm than the cattle that are running away from the storm, and they're running in the same direction with it. And, you know, as a guy that's helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people launch their, you know, one-person business or agency in the beginning, one of the hardest things to get good at is embracing that phone call when the customer calls and you're probably know it's not a pleasant call. And but they're literally giving you the playbook of all the things you need to do to grow and get better.
Absolutely.
And if you focus 100% on their experience, your business is probably going to do pretty good.
It's, as they say, the customer's never wrong. So regardless of their circumstance or what happens or what leads into their feelings,
Yeah.
there's always some kind of nugget in there.
Wow, dude.
So,
all right. So I want to stay, this is where I think I know you can provide so much value. I don't know if you've thought about, you know, how to, if you've got like, these are you know, Jett Williams 10-step process to learning from your customer or anything like that. But like, what are some things that you look for? How do you extract that in the right way? Because again, how you handle probably the first 10 seconds of that phone call is incredibly important.
It can make or break the whole conversation for sure.
All right, let's stay there for a minute.
The way I train people that work with us are the 3 L's: look, listen, and learn. And none of those are talk. So, you know, seek out the real meaning of why they're calling or why they're at your office or at your establishment. Learn what they have to offer, not only in feedback, and honestly, the 3 L's for me, they really, really cultivate into it's in my industry with salesmen and this brute force mentality that you always have of this sell, 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 sell. Nobody wants to listen.
That's right.
No, everybody wants to tell the customer what they want to buy and how they should do it and everything like that. If people just shut up, the customer will tell you everything that they want immediately.
That's right.
So, or a small extraction, you know, where you can actually have a meaningful conversation with a customer where they don't feel like you're trying to sell them something. And that's how I started. And that's in all of our companies. That's how we operate. Customers always, you know, has some kind of feedback, whether it's positive or negative, that you need to learn from on every single deal. And you cultivate your process and how you sell on those people. Man. Because at the end of the day,
so good.
We are people over product.
Come on.
And people over profit.
Come
and that's
on.
what we tell people when they walk in the door. It smells a little different. It looks a little different. It feels different because it is.
Yep. And income is the outcome, not the objective, right?
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, dude, I mean, it's such a cool thing. And again, there's so many ways. You have so much gold to you. Everybody that's good, that gets to the size and has achieved what you've achieved, there's a lot of systematic stuff going on in there, right? And you understanding what worked for you, and being able to scale that into other people. One of my favorite things that Rory Vaden talks about is you're most uniquely qualified to serve the person that you used to be.
I love that statement.
Absolutely. And, and at one point in time, you were learning how to do these things. You were, but at the end of the day, all your customers coming in, what they don't know is literally like you when you first got into the business, right? Just all the things that you've learned, and you are the expert. But like hearing, how do you know how to truly help them if you don't know, if they can't tell you what they need help with,
That's a profound statement. That's exactly how we run these businesses.